So many notifications and followers. That's more than I've ever had my entire life. This is amazing. This is one of the most probable examples of habits that each and every one of you here has. The phone rings. You drop everything, no matter how important, and pick up your phone. And if you don't, you'd be itching to know, are my friends texting me? Did I get a new follower? Or perhaps a new snap? Until you finally give in to that and check your phone. This is a habit. But not all habits are as destructive. Some can be constructive. For example, you set an alarm, and every time that alarm goes off, you go for a run. Slowly, habits form, and you find yourself living a healthier and better lifestyle. Alarms, running, phones, habits we can all picture. But picturing one isn't the same as understanding a habit. So what really is a habit? A habit is an action loop that gets repeated over and over and over again, seemingly autonomously. Rather than thinking about the parts of executing one, the pieces just fall into place, requiring no thinking, just pure action. Some of you here think a habit is an uncontrollable action that forms from multiple repetitions. And that is true, except for the claim that it's uncontrollable. Yes, it is controllable. Believe it or not, habits can be controlled. That itch you feel, simple to prevent. Getting yourself to go for that run, not as hard as you envisioned it to be. Now you may be thinking to yourself, yeah, obviously, this is the title of the talk, but how? It is easy to say something is achievable, but it's a whole other story to actually execute the desire to change. But here's the catch. You cannot take apart something you don't understand. So before we get into how to change your habits, let us think, what are the elements that make up a habit? A habit has three fundamental aspects. First, the cue, the alarm, the notification sound, anything that gets the habit starting. Then, we have the action itself, checking your phone, replying to the text messages, or going out for a run. This is the action itself. Then lastly, the reward, or the gratification, the relief of finally knowing what that notification bugging you was, and coming back from the run, all sweaty and feeling accomplished. So we've got a loop that keeps repeating over and over. Therefore, a habit isn't a singular chain of events with a start or an end. You may refer to the cue as the start and the reward as the end, but really what either of those do is set off the next, and the loop starts over. In reality, the supposed end or the reward actually causes your brain to want to recheck the phone next time. So now that the idea of a continuous loop has been clarified, let's take a moment and think to ourselves. How can you fix a loop and change it, a loop that makes itself stronger every single time it's executed? And the answer is quite simple. You break one of its elements. You change the cues and delay the reward. For example, you find yourself bored and habitually start scrolling on your phone. What do? Change the cues. Change your environment. Go out, make new friends. And slowly, the habit weakens until it's no longer there. You may also change the reward. The greatest element you can insert in the place of a reward is usually the least comfortable one. For example, you overeat. Fine, it's okay. It's a habit. But teach your brain that it's wrong by going to work out right after. That slight discomfort from the workout does you wonders. It teaches your brain that instead of gaining the satisfaction it once used to gain, all it will be forced to do now is expend body resources on a workout it never wanted to do in the first place. While we're on the topic of change, let me tell you a bit about myself. I am just like you. I used to be addicted to my phone. Every notification sound would get me to search for my phone and scroll through the notifications. Every new text, every new follow would light up my face. I knew this was wrong. The digital world is not the same as the real world. There, I knew habits had to change. So I started forcing myself to count 10 seconds before checking my phone. And for 3 weeks straight, that seemed to work. I felt like a champion. I'd finally changed the habit. Until one evening, I was having dinner with my family, and my phone rang. Before I even had the chance to think about what I was about to do, my body took control. And I checked my phone. I had failed. Yes, I had failed. After all those weeks of convincing myself that I was free, there came one moment where I had failed. But deep down, I knew this was not the end. I had come a long way from where I had started, and that's what kept me going. So I tried even harder, delayed the reward, changed the cues, changed my environment, went out more often, until I was free. But sometimes, I'd occasionally come back to the habit, but I knew it was natural. Mind you, a slight distinction here. You cannot get comfortable with a habit and blame it on biology. This is a lie to yourself and is harmful. Also, you coming back to that habit is not complete failure. It's simple biology. As this is a process that takes a long amount of time, as you yourself are physically rewiring yourself from the inside to think and act differently. Also remember, it's not willpower, it's biology. So the next time you catch yourself saying, I can't change, you'll know it's a lie. It was never about willpower. Never has been, never will be. All it was about was understanding how habits work and taking advantage of that. Pulling the thread out and watching the habit fall apart. That's all it ever was. So what I want you to do tonight is go back home, take a rest. Think about one habit, a simple one you've always wanted to change. Identify its cue and change the trigger. That's all I'm asking you. One thread, one habit. Thank you so much to everyone who has attended the talk. And tonight, I truly believe that each and every one of you will go back home and take on the challenge of changing your habits, now in a better and more refined manner. Thank you.